Hey Stitches, it's your girl Kris. Welcome on in to the channel. So guess what? Your girl has a commission. I know, me sewing for somebody else. That's funny, but I am. So I may as well take you guys along for the ride. All right, you guys, so story time. I have been sewing for a tiny little princess since she was a baby. Now, granted, she's only about 3 or 4 now, but I have sewn a couple of outfits for her in her very limited lifetime. And her mom approached me and asked me to make her a dress to wear to a graduation ceremony. No, my little princess is not graduating, but she is going to be performing on the big stage, and her mom wanted something really nice for the occasion. So when she messaged and asked me if I could make a dress, I really couldn't say no. I wanted to say no because I don't really enjoy sewing for other people, but I really couldn't because, as I said, I have already spoiled her with unsocial custom creations. So since I decided to go along for the journey, I decided, maybe I should take you guys along for the ride. Now, I know it's a little bit different to the content that I usually share here on the channel. Usually it's just all about your girl. Occasionally, you might see one of my kids make an appearance or my husband, but very seldom do I sew for anybody else other than me. So I think it's time for me to get started. Let's head on over to the cutting table, shall we? So I have gone ahead and cut out my fabric pieces. This is the fabric that I am using, and then I am contrasting it with this solid blue fabric. I just thought that this solid blue mixed in with this print would be gorgeous. Now this dress actually has an upper layer, then it has some tulle, and then it has an underlayer. And I had gone and cut out my underlayer piece using the same fabric, but now I'm thinking whether I should actually use the solid fabric for the underlayer because I am going to put some tulle over it. Now I actually started working on the tulle pieces. I wish I had thought to film this process before, but you guys, this tulle almost took me TF out. I hate tulle. It does create a really nice effect once it's done, but trying to get it to cooperate, in my opinion, is hell. I do not know why I agreed to make this dress with some tulle. Why am I torturing myself in this way? So this is actually 5 layers of tulle that I have cut and sewn together, and I have gone and gathered it, and I have used some dental floss to do my gathering. I usually just go ahead and use some straight stitches at a long length, and then I pull on my stitches to create the gathering effect. But again, because this is tulle, I didn't want to take the chance of my gathering stitches slipping out, so I did go and zigzag over some dental floss, and that just makes it kind of easy to pull my tulle and to create a gathered effect. So now that this tulle is out of the way, I'm actually going to get started on the main project. So let's head to the sewing machine. I'm back from the machine and I have done quite a bit, you guys. Truth be told, when I sit at my machine, I want to be able to sew as many seams as possible before I have to get up. So I did both of the side seams on the top skirt only, and that is because I am still thinking about my underskirt and whether I should use the printed fabric or the plain fabric. I went ahead and did the shoulder seams on the bodice main, as well as the shoulder seams on the bodice lining, and I did my sash pieces. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to trim down the edges of my sash, turn it out, and then I can go to the ironing board and iron all of my seams. So I'm going to iron my shoulder seams open, and I'm going to iron the skirt seams towards the back. I'm going to turn my sash out and then give it a good press, and then I can continue working. Doing the steps like this just makes my sewing much faster than having to sew shoulder seams, come press. Sew side seams, come press. Sew sash, come press. That just takes way too much time. So as many things as I can get done in one fell swoop, you best believe that is what your girl is going to do. So I'm going to finish cutting this, turn it out, and then I'm going to head to my ironing board. Hooray! Everything has been pressed. I have pressed my skirt and the rest of it. And I went back to my machine to work on the sash. So I had to stitch a line right in the center of the sash. And now I can open it up, and I'm going to press this pleat flat so that we have a nice, cute sash like this that we can go and attach to the front bodice. I also went ahead and did my button straps, and you guys, you probably can't see it well on the camera, but my edge stitching is so neat. Trust me, I have come a long way. So if you are a beginner, just keep at it. There was a time when I could not have done this as neat as I have now. So I'm super proud of it, and this is definitely your motivation to keep going. Right, so now I am going to press open my sash, pin it to my bodice, and do a little bit more work, and then I'll come back and check in with you guys. Hooray! So I'm almost finished with my bodice. I've gone ahead and attached my lining. So what I want to do is I want to pull my back bodice through my front. And I expect that it's going to be a little bit of a tight fit, pulling it through the shoulder seams. But we got to get it to the right side. Now, working on children's clothing is always so challenging because it's just so small. If this was for me, it wouldn't be so difficult, but because the arm side and the neckline is so small, you guys, it does take a little bit of finicking to get this pulled through. Right, we've got one side out, and I went ahead and put in my label because I have to put my label in my garments. I just think it is such a neat touch, and my labels have the year on it. So this one says circa 2025. That means the pretty little girl who dressed this is, she'll be able to look back and say, oh, this was made for me, especially in 2025. So now that I've got one side through, let's see if we can get the opposite side pulled through. Yay, here we go. So now I need to take her and give her a really good press. And here we go. So this is the front bodice. And then we've got the sash. And then if we turn it over, they're going to have some buttons on the back. And then we can do a nice big bow. Let me see if I can tie a bow. Do I remember what to do? Okay, right over left, and then up. This is a little bit difficult to do because the bodice is not obviously attached to anything, but let's see. You get the idea. I will have to do a better bow once this is done and attached to the skirt so that she's nice and even for the tails. But look how cute this is going to be. So this is going to be the back and this is going to be the front. Right, I think I'm going to stop there for tonight and we will continue with the skirt. Fingers crossed tomorrow. So I have gone ahead and I have done the hem on the upper skirt. I'm going to gather it now and then I'm going to pull back up my bodice and attach my upper skirt to my bodice, and then I'm going to attach my tulle layer because I still have not, you guys, decided what I want to do about my underskirt. Once I see how it comes together with the bodice, then I think that will help me to make a better determination of what I want to do about the underlayer. Here we go. We have 2 rows of gathering stitches. So I am going to turn it wrong sides out so that I can pull in the bobbin threads and then attach it to the main bodice. Hey boos, do you want to see the update for my dress? How cute is this? Oh my goodness. It is coming together so nicely. So I've already gone ahead and put the tulle and the upper skirt. So now I need to work on the underskirt. Initially, I had cut out the underskirt in the same floral fabric, but I have completely changed my mind and decided to do the underskirt in this solid blue fabric. I think that will just allow the tulle to pop a little bit more. It will be a little less distracting and it will also blend in quite nicely with the back bow. So I am going to put this to the side for a minute, grab my solid blue fabric and get to work on the underskirt. So let's go. Hey guys, guess what? We finally have finished our Selfless Sew project. It only took me a couple of weeks on and off, but I finally have not one, but 2 selfless items. The first one is the Little Lizard King Lienz Dress. Isn't this adorable? Oh my goodness. I am really in love with this dress. Now, the one parameter that my client had was that it had to be in floral print fabric. And I had this Minerva fabric in my stash and I thought, ooh, this one will be really nice. But I thought it might be overwhelming. If I ended up doing the underskirt in the same floral fabric, you would have seen me debating over whether I should use a floral fabric or a solid fabric. And I'm really glad that I went with the solid fabric. Now, working with this tulle was not fun at all. I do not recommend. Oh my goodness. It really did try your girl, but it does look so adorable in this little girl's dress. Now for the back, you can see that this pattern has a nice big bow. Granted, I have not done a very good job at tying it, but I'm hoping that you guys can still see the effect by the time this is tied up. Oh my gosh. And then with this low V in the back, I went ahead and did these purple buttons. I'm hoping the camera is focusing so you guys can see. You would have seen that I pulled out like 5 different buttons. But in the end, I did not want to go with the blue buttons because I felt like that was blue on blue on blue. So I decided to choose this kind of lilac color in the flower and to go with the lilac colored buttons. So all in all, really pleased with my dress, and I cannot wait to see this little cutie in this dress. Now by the time this video goes live, I don't think she would have worn it yet, but if perchance she does, then be sure you follow me over on Instagram so you can see my little cutie in her finished Little Lizard King Lienz dress. Now along with the dress, her mom also requested a custom headband, you guys. Now back in the day, your girl was fully into bow making, but I admit over the last couple of years, I haven't really been paying much attention to bow making at all. So I have tons and tons of bow making supplies in my stashes that have not gotten used for years. But she did ask for a custom headband. She wanted it to be a floral crown headband. Now she sent me an inspiration picture. If I can find it, I'll put it in here. But I had to contact her and let her know that because I was going to be manipulating ribbon, I could not manipulate the ribbon in the very same way that the fake flowers had looked on her floral crown, but she just gave me complete leeway to do what I wanted as long as I had created a floral headband. And you guys, it's time for me to reveal the final headband. Look at it. Oh my gosh. So I did try to use a couple of the different colors that I was picking up in the fabric. I did not want to do it all blue because again, blue on blue on blue. I wanted to introduce some pops of color into the headband, and this is what I came up with. Now, because the inspiration picture had so many flowers that were big and bold, as opposed to like one center flower with smaller flowers surrounding it, I tried to recreate that, but I did use different shapes by manipulating the ribbon in different ways. And you guys, I am so pleased with this finished headband. And I really hope she loves it. Now, the one thing I thought was maybe it needed a little bit more green. Maybe I should have done some green leaves or something like that, along with this green leaf that I had stuck to my headband initially. But then I thought, maybe I've done enough. Maybe I should quit while I'm ahead. And so I did not make any further adjustments to the headband. Now I can just pop it on just so you guys can have an idea of what it will look like. Oh my gosh, I feel like a baby dolly. Isn't this cute? Imagine that with this dress. She is gonna look adorable. Now, as I said, you guys, I don't often sew for others. I am a selfish sewer, and I say so with absolutely no hesitation and no remorse at all. But from time to time, I can be persuaded to sew something for somebody else. And as I think I told you already, this little girl, I have been sewing for her from since she was a baby. She is, I think, maybe 3 or so by now. And when I'm finished with her projects, I'm always super excited about them. And it does help that her mom is not super fussy. She does seem to have a lot of confidence in my abilities, and she gives me free reign. And that is really good for me, because if she was like hella picky and she didn't want this and she didn't want that, she wanted it this way, she wanted it that way, that would drive me crazy, and that would probably turn me off from sewing for her in the first place. So I'm really glad that she's just like, I know you're going to make something beautiful, so just go for it. And even when she sent me inspiration pictures, she still was like, okay, even if you can't get it the exact same way, just do what you can do. I'm sure it's going to look fine. So I'm really happy that I was able to do both of these pieces, but I'm not going to tell you any lies, guys. I am glad that both of these pieces are done, and now I can get back to my regular programming, sewing for myself. Now, if you liked today's video, I know it is a hell of a lot different to the content that I usually provide, but I thought that this would be interesting. At least I hope it was interesting to a couple of you guys. You would have been able to see in this video some different techniques that I used, particularly as it relates to my headband. So if you did enjoy today's content, then be sure to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I cannot promise you that you will see content like this very often on this channel. In the upcoming videos, it is going to be back to sewing for moi, but from time to time, I think it's okay to sprinkle in something different. Variety is, after all, the spice of life. Or so they say. Now, drop me a comment down below and let me know, what do you think of the finished little dress? And what do you think of this floral headband? Do you think that they complement each other nicely? Do you think it was a great idea for me to use the solid fabric instead of using the floral print fabric, and then to accent the dress with the solid fabrics as well? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section. Now, if you have made it this far in today's video, be sure to go ahead and subscribe. Your subscriptions cost you absolutely nothing, but they guarantee you a spot right here with me in my YouTube sewing family. Also, be sure to go ahead and turn your notifications on, because that will mean whenever your girl drops a new video, you will be the first to know. Now, until next time, you guys, stay calm, stay cool, stay safe, and absolutely keep sewing. Peace.